Hello, beautiful creative people. Kiala Givehand here of Giving Hands Creative, and I am here for book number 8 of 2014. This is Book in a Day, August. And we'll do a quick little time check here because it is, I'm going to make sure we pull up the time. It's Sunday, August 31st, and it's 1:16 in the afternoon. And believe it or not, this is the 5th or 6th time I have tried to record this intro. The first time I did it and I realized that I had woken up this morning feeling really like I was having allergies, which since I moved to California, I have not one time in 6 years experienced any sort of allergies or weird reactions to the environment, nothing. And then I woke up today and it was quite odd to be having this like itchiness, red eyes, puffy, swollen. So I don't know if it's something I ate, if it's just something in the atmosphere. I went for a walk yesterday, I was looking at flowers and touching flowers, and so who knows, maybe something in the midst of all that happened, but I woke up this morning swollen, puffy eyes, red, and so I was like, you know what, I'm not going to subject people to that. So I did another recording and realized the camera wasn't on. Hello. You would think after 100+ videos that I will know to turn the camera on and make sure the little red light is looking at me. And so then I waited for a couple hours and then I sat down to record again, and 3 times I've turned this camera on and started talking and I got the hiccups. So it has been a crazy morning trying to just record the intro and tell you what it is I'm planning to do. I don't know if the hiccups are going to come back. They seem to have subsided, so I'm going to just try to barrel through and get this video out to you. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do, and then I think I'm probably just going to speed through the rest of it with music and all that during the editing process, just in case the hiccups come back. So I am about to, tomorrow, September 1st, is, first of all, my nephew's son, his birthday. Hi, Trevor. Happy birthday. He's turning 24. Can you believe that? 24. Okay, you can probably believe it. I can't believe it. Anyway, happy birthday, Trevor. It's a holiday. It's, you know, Memorial Day or Labor Day. And folks are going to be doing whatever they do on that day, whatever you do to celebrate if you're in the U.S. or wherever you are. But also, Tracy Bautista has a Printmaking Unleashed course starting tomorrow, and I am enrolled in that. I enrolled in it, I think when she initially announced it months ago. And so I'm really excited, anxiously awaiting it. And so I thought I should make a journal to use for Tracy's class. Now, I have taken Tracy's workshop. I took a 3-day workshop with her a few months ago, several months ago, probably 6 months ago maybe even. And I think I did a book as a result of that, one of the Book in a Day books as a result of that. So I really love Tracy's work. I love her energy. She's an awesome human, and it was really cool to be able to take a class with her in person because she doesn't live very far. Her studio has since moved, but she doesn't live too far from where I live, and so it was an easy sort of commute to get there every day and take her workshop. It was really, really amazing. She's really she just has so many techniques and tools and tricks and tips and strategies and things that she uses to create these wonderful pages that she creates. So this class that she's doing is for her latest book, Printmaking Unleashed, and I have a copy of it somewhere around here. Let me grab it. So this is the book that the class is based on, Printmaking Unleashed, and the book says more than 50 techniques, and they're right. There's like 70 or 8. I don't know. It seems insane how many techniques are in this book. So I think during the class, she's going to be going through the techniques that she has in here and actually walking people through how to make tools. Like, she has a whole section on how to make your own tools. And when we took her workshop, I think I've shown you all some of the stuff that I created while I was in her class. I'm looking for some of it over here. I mean, first of all, she gave us a ton of stuff like these silk flowers that we can make. She taught us how to make our own little organic shapes for printmaking. You've seen me use these on my jelly plate. Tons of stuff that she gave us and taught us how to make on our own. So some of this stuff I made on my own, and then other, you know, we just did things like cut out, you know, shapes, organic shapes, and use them to make, you know, to print over, to do printmaking techniques. She talks a lot about how to make your own tools and your own mark making. Yeah, I guess tools is really the only word I can think of, but she does give a lot of techniques and strategies on how to do that. And then she gave us a bunch of neat little things. Like, this was a really big, like one of those things you use to put around a tree when it's a sapling and you're like gonna be, she got it from like some home supply store or whatever, and I just cut mine into pieces, but it's an amazing piece for like a stencil, to use as a stencil. And so she just gave us a bunch of different tools. She uses a lot of tools from hardware store, office supply store, all sorts of places. She also taught us how to make these glue stencils. These were awesome and fun to do. I don't even know if you guys can see that. I better put it on something, yeah, that you can actually see. So it's just these weird organic shapes, but then it, you know, no one else is gonna have this, right? Because this is just something I created with glue. And it was just an organic shape. I wasn't trying to mimic anything in particular, but then when you spray through these on your art journal, you can like journal inside these little globules or paint different colors in them or whatever. You can do whatever your creative imagination gets you. So it was really cool to take her workshop, and a lot of the techniques that she taught in the workshop are in the book. So I'm looking forward to taking the online version of this class with Tracy. It is I think it's a 3-part, 3-series course that you can take. And so the one thing I know about Tracy is she works on single sheets of paper often, and then she'll bind those into an art journal, which I think I even shared with you all before, my art journal that I created as a part of the class, right? This was the art journal that we created. I learned how to macrame for the very first time, added a bunch of beads and stuff to it. But the thing that Tracy does, one of the things she does is she will make books, make her journals out of pages that are, you know, uneven, different sizes. But these were all painted papers that we did in her class. And so we then took these papers and turned them into an art journal, which is just pretty darn awesome and cool. So I'm suspecting that, like, so you can see here, that was one of those glue stencils I was talking about. It made the little organic shape in the back there. We used them to stamp with, all sorts of things. So in preparation for Tracy's class that's starting this month, I'm going to make a journal. And because okay, so she works with single sheets, which means she's usually working really big. But I want to, you know, because I'm an art journaler and that's kind of my thing, making books and art journaling in them. I want to create a journal that I'll use for Tracy's class. So I'm starting with some Canson mixed media paper. This is 14 by 17, so it's pretty big. And I'm actually going to tear some sheets out, and then I'm just going to fold them in half, and my art journal is going to be this big. So in doing that, I was like, okay, so how am I going to do this? So I thought, okay, I'm just going to channel a little bit of Tracy Bautista here. So several things that make it sort of inspired by Tracy. First, the size, right? She works big, so I'm making a journal bigger than any other journal I've made before. First of all, she does a lot. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing, she does a lot of work with her sewing machine, which I'm not really good at using a sewing machine. I mean, I think I can stitch okay, but I can't do anything fancy or whatever. So, but I'm going to use my sewing machine to do two things. I'm going to use my sewing machine as the stitching method for getting my pages sewn together. That's the first thing. The second thing I'm going to do with the sewing machine is create a cover. Now I have a bunch of pieces of canvas because, you know, I usually work small in this sort of, like, this would be a book, right? This would be a cover for a book. So I'm going to take some pieces of canvas that I have here, and I'm going to stitch together like, almost like piecing together pieces, and then, you know, with some of the, this is just some muslin that I have from a sort of, this is a cloth I use to like dab things up when I'm painting. So I'm just going to use this. This is like an old t-shirt I was using at one point. More cloth that I have dyed. I think I got this piece actually from Tracy Bautista in her little stash that she let us go through. This looks like a piece from her. So I'm just going to stitch together a cover that is like a patchwork type cover that I will then, you know, paint on and create on as I am in Tracy's class. So that's the plan for today, is to make a journal for Tracy's class. It's going to be really big. It's going to have a piece milled sort of cover over it. And then, yeah, I will probably do a journal flip for you when I'm done with the first, because I don't think the one I'm going to make is going to be enough to cover all the stuff she's going to have us doing. So when it's full and I go to make the next one, I'll do a journal flip for you all to see the sort of what it looks like on the inside. But today you'll get to see me make the blank book. Yeah, and then I have several announcements that I will be talking about at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you listen all the way to the end so you can hear all the good stuff that's happening and that I want you to be a part of. Okay, that's enough talking. I made it through without any hiccups. Haha, imagine that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just zoom through the rest of this for you because I'm gonna pull the sewing machine out. I don't know how much you'll be able to see. You won't be able to hear me talking over that anyway, so we'll just pull that out and go from there. So I am actually going to start by ripping out, and I think I'm just going to do, I mean, if you really think about, one sheet of paper ends up being 4, right? So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Let's do 5 sheets. All right, so I'm just going to rip 5 sheets out, and then I'll be back. See you here in a minute. Okay, so of course I said 5, and then I ripped out 6. And here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to fold these. I'm going to come back in with my bone folder after I get them folded because I want to get a sense of, I had this idea as I was ripping these pages out. I don't know if this is going to work or not because I'm used to doing this kind of work stitching by hand, so I don't, size usually isn't really an issue, but with the sewing machine I don't know how true that's going to be. So the idea that I had as I was ripping these out was to make 3 signatures. Now remember, signatures are just when we have, you know, 2 sheets nested inside of each other. So I'm thinking, and this is an experiment, who knows what's going to happen. I'm thinking that I'm going to stack 2 like this, and then I'll do, you know, 2, 4, 6. Okay, 2, 4, 6. And then I'm thinking that I will take the sewing machine and stitch. We'll see. Yeah, this is, even as I say it, it sounds weird, but we'll see. Stitch up here in each one of them, and then somehow stitch them together. I don't know what that's even going to look like right now. Stitch them together and then create a cover that will keep them all bound together. All right, let's see. It's totally an experiment. But let's pull up the sewing machine and see if any of what I'm saying makes sense. See you back in a second. So I just want to do a quick sort of check-in. The pages are stitched together down the center, just a nice simple stitch. And this, when I was doing this, it reminded me how easy it is to just make a journal. Like, it's so simple. Like, literally these 2 pages could be a journal and I could be done, right? It doesn't have to be fancy and it doesn't have to be, you know, super complicated or difficult. So anyway, got me thinking about that. All right, so then the next thing would be to figure out how I'm going to get these 3 together as I could nest them into each other like this and sew into the canvas cover. I could do that. That is an option. So it'll be 3 stitched together like that. Alright, so this is a thinking moment. I need to think for a minute and figure out how I want to do this. Because the other way it would require me to glue or stitch the pages together somehow. Thinking. Alright, I'm going to work on the cover while I think about what I'm going to do here. So, for my cover, I know that I just need to start by measuring and seeing. Alright, so that's good. Then I think I'm going to do like a strip of this. So I think I want to have, let me rephrase, I don't need, but I think I want to have full canvas. This is going to be very interesting. That's all I have to say. as I play with this, I'm seeing how very interesting this is going to be. Yeah. All right, so let's start. I'm going to piecemeal this together and think about how I want to place it. I'll speed through this process. I won't make you watch me think, and then I'll be back. so I want to do a quick time check, and the camera may have died okay, not may have, it did. The camera died while I was in mid motion, and so here we are, 2:55, a little over an hour I've been working, and I have something that looks kind of like it could be a cover at some point. I ran out of black thread, so I had to replace it with purple, but I'm like, you know what, this is all about experimentation. I'm not going to stress over the color of the thread, and then I ended up really liking the purple a lot, so, and wishing that I had started with purple. But anyway, so this is where we are right now. I measured and folded over the edges so that it wouldn't be so big, and it would have a little bit of stitching on the edge. So now I just need to do these ends, and I think we will have a cover for this journal. So I'm looking at how this is gonna work. Yeah, I think it's gonna be cool. All right, so I'm going to do the same technique that I did for measuring out how much of this to do. Just kind of did a quick little crease against the paper, and then I just slid the paper out, and that's going to be where I fold. And it's not going to be straight because my canvas was not straight when I cut it originally. So yeah, that's the other thing, you know, I'm not, in most parts of my life, I'm a perfectionist, which is odd, except when it comes to handmade books and things like this. I also discovered I could probably not be a seamstress at any point in my life, unless I really, really worked at it, because I'm pretty sure a seamstress has to measure everything perfectly. I have not measured one thing, one thing since I started this. So this should be quite interesting. Just let me say that. I just want to make sure. Yeah, this is an interesting little project that I have happening here. We will see what it ends up doing and being in the world in about 30 minutes. I feel like I'll be done with the cover, and then we can figure out how these are going to actually sew into the cover, how they're actually going to work and fit. Alright, so I'm going to sew this, and I'm going to do the same thing I did on my other edges. I did a double stitch just because it looked weird not to have one, and then so I did it. Alright, so I'm going to do that one, and then I'll be back. Okay folks, this is what we've got. This is the cover to some degree. I am debating right now whether or not I want to put those pieces that I had set aside, whether or not I want to adhere them to the cover of to the canvas here. I was thinking I could arrange them in different, something like that. You know, I'm very asymmetrical in most of the time in my life, so I might do something like that, or just to add a pop of color to it maybe. I don't know. I am thinking, and then I'm also wondering if I should just try, since I am in experimentation mode right now, if maybe I should try something off the wall, like, you know, going at an angle, which is It's usually something I would never do. So I don't know. I'm thinking about whether or not I even want to add anything else to the front. Maybe I want to just leave it the way it is and paint on it throughout Tracy's class. When something comes up, add a little paint to the front. I'm also wondering if I want to maybe sew something to the inside of this to make it a little more sturdy. I don't know what to do. This is that moment where I just fiddle about because I don't know what I want to do next. But I know that the hubby and I want to go see a movie. So I should probably just make a decision and go with it and see where it takes me. I'm also wondering if I should sew another piece of paper into this, add another sheet around this, and then glue it to this. Yeah, I think I might do that. That way, when you open it, nah, I don't like the sound of that. I'm thinking I can gesso this, and throughout the process of Tracy's class, I can be creating an internal cover. Okay, here we go for the big reveal. Alright, it's sewn in. That's a good thing. Interesting. It's very flimsy, which I don't like, so I've got to think of something. I don't know what though. I think I'm gonna leave it for a little bit, go to a movie with the hubby. You know what, actually before we go, I'm gonna try something here. I'm gonna pull a few more sheets out of here. Maybe just 3. Okay, so I'm gonna keep doing this and see how many of these I can get in here, and if I can get another set of 6, so I'm pretty sure that's what I had. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, if I can get another set of 6 in here, that might make me happier. You know? We'll see. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, beautiful people. 3:33. And I'm gonna call it done. I added a second signature, so here's what we now have. I will say, I actually like how it turned out. It's kind of weird. There's some tearing on the inside and all kind of weird things already happening, but I think I'm fine with it. So I'm going to pull out a little bit. Alright, so here's what we have. And I'm hoping, yeah, I think you can probably see okay. So it's 2 signatures, basically, sewn into the cover. And it's just blank pages. I did have, like I said, some ripping here. This page may not stay long. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know that page is going to stay. Actually, I should probably go ahead and pull it out just to be safe. Alright, so we have a cover with some fabric. I might actually add a little more stitching to this. I don't know yet. We're going to see. I'm going to wait and see what Tracy's class involves and what all we're going to be doing. And then, yeah, I think that I might be able to, the course is actually over 3 months. So I'm thinking that I'll be able to get probably at least 1 or 2 months done in here and just see what we end up with. Okay, so I don't know what to call this other than a large sewn journal. Stitched, sewn. Sewn. I like the word sewn because it indicates that I used maybe a sewing machine, or I attempted to. So I ended up not adding any of these little bits and pieces, but I'm going to save them because I may collage them on at some point. I may stitch them later, cut them into shapes, little squares or something. I don't know what I'll do. They may show up again at some point. We'll see. For now, this is Book in a Day August. It is my large canvas covered sewn 2 signature art journal for Printmaking Unleashed. Alright, so several announcements. Announcement number 1. I am updating my website pretty soon here. I have tons of stuff that I have not added. So many photos. I did my, let's see, I have it sitting here. I did my index card a day project and I haven't loaded any of the photos for that. I've been blogging and saving them as drafts and not even putting them up because every day I say I'm gonna update my website today. I'm gonna do, so anyway, major overhaul on the website happening. And I have started a new venture called howtoartjournal.com. I hope that you will come over there and join me there for strictly all things art journal. I am going to have some contributing bloggers. Other folks will be contributing content, so it won't just be my voice that you're hearing. One thing I've learned this year is that I really love doing interviews. I love talking to creative people about their creative process, about the tools they use, the materials they use, what they like it, why they make the choices they make. I love having other people share their art with the world and providing a space for that to happen. So the howtoartjournal.com, and the word to is T-O, so howtoartjournal.com. And yeah, we're launching this week and we have content coming up and we've got folks who are going to be interviewed, lots of special guest interviews, and folks sharing their process and giving you tips and tutorials. So I'm hoping that the website will be like a resource for folks who are new to art journaling, but then also a place to get re-inspired or reconnect or find new art journalers in the world if you're someone who's been doing it for a while like I have. So this is absolutely a passion that I have, and I want to share it with the world. I want to do the things I love and yeah, share them with the world and see how we can build community around them, and maybe yeah, so join me there. That site is up and it's brand new, so lots of tweaks and things still happening. It's not working perfectly, but it's like moving into a new home. You still have some boxes to unpack, but you might still have your housewarming party, or you might still invite your friends over to sip some tea and watch a movie or whatever. So think of it like that. I'm inviting you into my home before I've unpacked all the boxes, and encouraging you to stop by and see what you can see. We have Virginia Simpson Magruder is going to be the first person that you'll see, other than my voice. My voice is already up there, a couple of blog posts, but Virginia is an altered book artist, and oh, her work is just amazing. She does these amazing things with altered books where she cuts out these little nooks and crannies and she creates these portals, and all of it is in the service of art journaling. So that is something I don't do. I'm not an altered book person. I don't do a lot of altered books. I actually have never really truly altered a book. I've done deconstructing of books, but not the sort of altered book work that Virginia does. So I've invited Virginia to offer that perspective because it's not a perspective that I can bring, but I want to make sure the community has multiple voices and multiple perspectives on art journaling, because there is no right way to do it. So many options and opportunities out there for how to use an art journal, from everything from using it just as a junk journal, using it to experiment, to really truly using it to excavate and go internally and heal from trauma or from grief, or just in your everyday life to have a place to document what is happening in your world and to be a memory keeper and an archivist. So lots of wonderful things art journaling can do for us, and I have really enjoyed the power of an art journal, and I want to share that with the world. So I hope you will join me on this new venture. I'm always doing something new, you know that. So join me at howtoartjournal.com. I will put the link down below in the description here, and I'll also put some links to Tracy Bautista's course and all of that. I'm pretty sure you can probably still sign up for it. I don't think the sign up is closed just yet. So maybe I'll see you over there in Tracy's class. All right, Kiala Givehand for Givehand's Creative and howtoartjournal.com signing off, and I'll see you back here in September, if not before. Actually, I'm pretty sure well, it won't be before September because today's the 31st, but I will see you back for Book in a Day September, but I might see you before then for 10 on the 10th. All right, thank you so much. Oh, see, I'm so crazy. One more thing. If you're still listening, I'm a part of a blog hop that is starting in a few days. I will put information about the blog hop down below so you can see that as well. I think there's about 15 or 20 of us who are talking about how to conquer the blank canvas or page. We even have someone who sculpts, so he'll be talking about how he comes to a piece of wood and creates from that, or a piece of marble, or so we have a ton of us. We're all from different walks of life, different parts of the world, different types of artists, and so we will be doing a blog hop. And of course, with a blog hop, there are always giveaways. So there will definitely be a giveaway for this blog hop that we're doing, and it's called the Blank Canvas Blog Hop. So I hope that you will join me on that journey as well. I will probably be announcing that again on the 10 on the 10th video, because it'll be happening in the middle of 10 on the 10th. So, I think I've told you everything. Hopefully I can exit this time without having to stop. Again, Kiala Givehand, signing off from Givehand's Creative and howtoartjournal.com. I look forward to seeing you back here in September for a lot of different things. All right, go out and create something beautiful today. Bye.